Project metrics. Now, where on-chain metrics are concerned with observable blockchain data, like we did yesterday, project metrics involves a qualitative approach which looks to factors like the performance of the team, if any exists, the white paper, and the upcoming roadmap. Okay? And we are going to look at this in depth. And what we are going to start with is what we call the white paper. Then we are going to look at the team. Then we are going to look at the competitors, and then the token economics or the tokenomics, or rather token distribution, or how tokens has been distributed. Okay? Now, the white paper is the first thing that you are going to look at. It is highly recommended that you read the white paper of any project before investing. Now, white paper is a technical document that gives you an overview of the cryptocurrency project. And a good white paper should define the goals of the network and ideally give us an insight into the following. The technology used, yeah, is it an open source or non-open source, yeah? The use cases, or the utility rather, yeah? How is this project going to be used? Why is this project being launched? You know, is there another project that is currently doing this? You know, the roadmap, yeah, everything has a roadmap, yeah. I know most of us probably in January we did write down some of the goals that we need to achieve by the end of this year, you know, by the end of this year. And probably you have timelines when you want to have done this. Maybe you've said by the end of March, I want to have done this and this. Sorry? Nixon, you have a question? So, by the end of this year or by the end of March, you want to have done this and this. Then in the second quarter, that is probably by July, you want to have done this and that. By October, you need to have done this and that. And by December, you want to have probably achieved 1, 2, 3 things. Yeah. So the roadmap is very, very important. And you also need to see the roadmap for any given cryptocurrency project. Now, the other most important thing is the supply and distribution scheme for coins or tokens. Yeah, the supply and distribution scheme. Now, it is wise to cross-reference this information with discussions of the project. What are other people saying about it? Are there any red flags raised? Do the goals seem realistic? Because the other projects that we launch, things that don't seem realistic. So it's very, very important that you look whether the goal is realistic. Now, to find the white paper for any projects, for example, let's look at a project called, let me share my entire screen rather. So that we can move together. So if you go to a project like Pesabase, for example, okay, you go to Pesabase and then you go to their website, it's pesabase.com, and if you go to CoinMarketCap, you will always be redirected to, you go to CoinMarketCap, you search for the project. Just want to show you how to go about that. Pesabase, and here we have it. So once you click on it on CoinMarketCap, it's going to bring you to this page, and you can see we have the official links here. Okay, we have the official links. You can see the website, and we have the white paper. When you click on the official link, it's just going to bring you to this page. Okay, it's going to bring you to this page, and once you are on this page, you can go to menu and look for the white paper, about us, and you can see the story here. We have these guys. These are the guys behind the project. Their mission is here. You can see other people who are involved, yeah. And you can read their profiles, who they are, what they've done before, you know. Then there is Pesa token. You can read more about the Pesa token. They even have an app, which is a good thing. Yeah. But now when you come here, you can see we have a link to the white paper. So when you click on that, it should redirect you to this. You see? It's now asking us to download the white paper, which is what I'm going to do just right now. So it's downloading. I just want to show you what a white paper is and how it looks like and what information is contained in a white paper. It's actually like a manual. You see, when you buy something new and you don't know how to use it and you want to learn how to use it, you're going to go through the manual, right? You're going to go through the manual. So once we open it, this is, can you guys see Pesabase, the blockchain solution for remittance? Can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes.
Awesome. So this is how a white paper will look like, and you can see the table of contents. So the first thing they are addressing here is the problem and the solution, okay? Now, after that, they will go to the benefits for the holders, those who are holding the PESA token. Then we have the token economics, tax, and the roadmap, you see? So the roadmap is very, very crucial. And then, of course, we have the team and the advisors. And you can see Pesabase is solving the issue of high remittance fees and stressful wait times in Africa to families that need it the most. Now, through the blockchain, Pesabase has delivered a solution. Through Pesa token, this solution will reach millions while you, as an investor, are rewarded in the process. So, the Pesa key highlights tokenizing an existing company, and number two, working remittance app, Android, iOS, and the web. Strategic partnership with M-Pesa and MTN, which are one of the largest mobile networks in Africa currently. Mini crypto bank remittance center. Then you have first of its kind in East Africa. We have LLC in Melbourne, Nairobi, Kampala, and Juba. Then contract written by Dream Contract Writer. Now I like these guys, the Dream Contract Writers. These guys, they do very, very nice projects. Yeah, they do very, very nice projects. We're going to have a look at them probably at the end of the class. Yeah, at the end of the curriculum, and see some of the projects that they have done and how they have performed previously. Now you have world class doxed team. Doxed team basically means, if you read the crypto Bible, doxed just basically means they have verified their identity. They have provided their document, and you can actually verify the team is real and it exists. Why Pesa, the remittance program? So 60 million East Africans send money to their families, currently paying 10 to 15% and beyond in fees. This is when you use the traditional means of sending money. Now, current wait time is 3 to 14 days and beyond for families to receive the funds. And you can see here, when people are sending a figure of, let's say, 51 billion, you can see 10 to 15%, which is close to 14 billion annually, goes into transactions. Yeah, 10 to 15% goes into fees. So 5 to 8 billion getting lost on fees. So what is their solution? Now, using Pesabase, fees are reduced to 1 to 3% for users. Okay, no more waiting period, funds delivered instantly. By now you understand how cryptocurrency remittance happens. It's instant. And as much as you might have to wait like 5-10 minutes, it's much better as compared to someone doing Swift transfer or doing RTGS, whereby you have to wait for 2-3 working days. And remember, with crypto, you can do these transactions any time of the day. Doesn't matter whether it's at the night or during early morning, you know. Users are rewarded in Pesa, creating a shared economy between users and investors. So you can see the solution. Number one is to cut on the fees. And of course, secondly is the instant remittance. And of course, third one is there is revenue generation through the fees that are generated these 1 to 3% fees that are generated, the fees are actually shared among the users. Okay. Now, how will the holders benefit? Buybacks through Pesabase fees. Now, every time someone does a transaction on on PancakeSwap, there's a transaction fee that you're going to pay, right? So every single transaction, or not even on PancakeSwap, but when you're sending the money from one Pesabase account to another Pesabase account, let's say for example, you're sending money from Nigeria to Morocco, or you're sending money from Morocco to Kenya, there's a transaction fee that you're going to incur. So every single payment that is processed through Pesabase creates a buy on the chart, increasing the token value. So the fees that you spend are going to be used to buy these tokens. So meaning they are putting more money into the liquidity pool, and this will help the price of the Pesabase token to go up. Incentives. So remitters on our network will also be incentivized. Every time someone sends money to a loved one using our app, they will automatically earn Pesa tokens. As mentioned, there are currently 60 million East Africans sending remittance into and within East Africa. Therefore, it is inevitable for Pesa token to become a huge community. So you can see what you're talking about, and you can see the information that is put forward into the white paper. Okay, are you following through, guys? So let's continue. So that is about the white paper. You can see the information that is contained in the white paper, and we've been able to look at some of the information that is contained in the white paper. Now, the next thing that you're going to look is the team. Okay. Now, if there's a specific team behind the cryptocurrency network or project or blockchain or whatever project you're looking at, its members' track records can reveal whether the team has required skills to bring the project to fruition. Have members undertaken successful ventures in this industry previously? You know, you want to know whether they have the know-how of how to handle projects like this. You know, is their expertise sufficient and their experience sufficient to reach their projected milestones? Yeah. Have they been involved in any questionable projects or scams previously? If there's no team, what does the developer community look like? Because you might find some other projects. For example, Bitcoin does not have the team. It only has the developer, who was actually the guy behind creation of Bitcoin, which is Satoshi Nakamoto. So, and of course, it is believed it was his. Well, there have been rumors. People have been saying that Elon Musk could be Satoshi Nakamoto, considering that he was actually the guy who founded PayPal initially, you know, and PayPal has actually been a success. Initially, before PayPal, he had another website. I think it was called something X. I think it was actually called X.com, and that is actually why he probably renamed Twitter to X.com. But previously, even before he launched PayPal, he had a payment gateway. I think it was called X.com, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. And because of that, a lot of people has been speculating that maybe Elon Musk could be Satoshi Nakamoto. And I remember sometimes in an interview he was asked whether he was Satoshi, but he said he isn't. So what you're talking about here is, you see, if probably assuming if we knew that Elon Musk is the guy behind Bitcoin, most likely even the big investors who are investing traditionally but have probably invested so much in SpaceX and have invested so much in Tesla, have invested so much in Neuralink, because those are projects that Elon Musk have been able to pioneer, and all those projects have actually been successful. Most likely, more people are going to board into the cryptocurrency industry. But like it has always been, the founder and the pioneer of cryptocurrency, or rather Bitcoin, is not known to date, which I feel is a good thing. Yeah, because if some people knew who he was, especially the government, I don't think they would have let Bitcoin or cryptocurrency see light. Yeah. Now, if there's no team, what does the developer community look like? If the project has a public GitHub, check to see how many contributors there are. So GitHub is essentially a platform where computer scientists use to probably record their project or progress on any given project. Yeah. So it's a device that you can check their GitHub to see how many contributors there are and how much activity there is. So a coin whose development has been constant may be appealing than one whose repository hasn't been updated in 2 years or so. Basically, a repository is like a record, or it's like a trace of the contributions that have been happening in a given project. Yeah. So you are able to see so and so suggested this maybe last month, another person suggested this and that maybe last month but one. So you can see there is some constant progress and contribution in this project. So that is what we're talking about, the team. And what happens mostly when a project launches and they give you who the teams are on the white paper, you can even go and Google who these guys are so that you can see the history, so that you're able to see the history of in what industries have these people worked before, what experience do they have, what expertise do they have, was the projects they were working on before successful, in what other traditional businesses have they worked on before, have these people been in the banking industry, because most of the times you'll find that most people who've been in the banking industry will have so much interest into investing into the crypto industry. Okay. Now, the competitors is another thing, which is very, very crucial, because you don't want to start a project that another person is already working on, So you want a project that is unique in its own way. So a strong white paper should give us an idea of the use case the crypto asset is targeting, okay? The crypto asset is targeting. At this stage, it is important to identify the project it's competing with, as well as the legacy infrastructure it seeks to replace. Probably, this is a cryptocurrency project that has found some flaws or some faults or some problems with a certain project. And because the smart contract has already been deployed and cannot be edited on the previous project and it has to remain like that, then they have to look for an alternative way to solve the problem with the previous cryptocurrency project. So what do? They probably come up with another project trying to solve the problem that they have identified in the previous one. Yeah. People say that there's a saying that goes that, I don't know, something is the creativity or is the mother of all innovations. How does that saying go? The saying that goes,
necessity is the mother of invention.
necessity is the mother of all invention. Yeah. And that is basically what happened with the invention of cryptocurrency. Thank you for that. That is what happened with the invention of cryptocurrency, because during the 2008-2009 recession, a lot of people lost a lot of money. People could go to the banks to withdraw their money, and the banks would tell them, look, we don't have money. We have invested all the money and we have not gotten back our investments, and we don't have money to give you. But people had entrusted the banks with their money. Yeah. So because of that, Satoshi decided, well, I think it's high time we come up with something that the banks don't have control over. And that is how cryptocurrency was invented. And looking at that invention and at that moment, there was no competitor. There was no any other competitor that was going to be a challenge to cryptocurrency. The only challenge that cryptocurrency had was adoption, which is still a big challenge to date, but not as before. But what you are going to realize is that as you continue moving and as the years continues going, a lot of people are adopting into cryptocurrency, and a lot of people are actually starting to appreciate the industry. Looking at how much have been invested here, from CoinMarketCap, you can see it's around $1.9 trillion. If you go to CoinGecko, I'm sure they are over $2 trillion, most likely. Because the difference, basically, you can see from CoinGecko, it's actually $2.04 trillion. And remember, this is only what CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko has been able to track. Because I believe there are other projects that are currently trading which are not yet listed on these decentralized exchanges. Yeah, and if they get listed, of course, it means that market cap will go up. All right. So we are talking about competitors. It's very important that you look which other projects are your project competing with. Yeah, and if this project was to get to where the competitor currently is, how big will this project be? Now, take for example, let's go to CoinMarketCap and compare Ethereum and Solana. Solana is popularly known as the Ethereum killer nowadays, yeah? It's popularly known as the Ethereum killer. Now, if you look, currently Solana has a market cap of $46 billion, yeah? $46 billion. Now, if you do the math, which we're going to do together here, if we do the math, the market cap for Ethereum is at $354 billion. Yeah, $354 billion. So if you $351 billion. So if you divide 351, 155, 934. Well, it's changing every now and then. Let's just put 000. Then you divide by, let's even call 47 billion. Yeah, 47 billion. So if Solana was to do what Ethereum has done, we are talking about 7x from where it is. Yeah, we are talking about 7x from where it is, because Solana is trying to solve a problem that Ethereum has been facing. Number one, transaction fees. Number two, the speed. Yeah, and if Solana can get to where the Ethereum is, we are looking at the value of Solana skyrocketing 7 times from its current price for it to get to the market cap of Ethereum. And that is to mean if one Solana is currently selling at $106, now multiply that by 7 times, we are talking about the price of Solana coming to $791. Now, when you do such metrics, or when you do such calculations, you see this is actually a very undervalued project. And this is a project you'd expect to do very, very well in the coming bull run. In the coming bull run, we are talking about a market cap of over 10 trillion. Yeah, a market cap of over $10 trillion. And now you can imagine if you are currently only at 1.9, you can imagine how much the $10 trillion market cap will have pushed the prices for most of these big projects. Yeah, those projects will be trading at 5x from where they currently are. Yeah, so that is what we are talking about. I want to see, you can see during the previous bull run, you can see how far we went. Yeah, this is how far we went during the previous bull run. We went to as high as close to 3 trillion. Yeah, close to 3 trillion. Let me see if I can catch that. Yeah, 2.7 trillion there and about. Yeah, close to $3 trillion in the previous bull run. And you can see this bull run, this is the 2017 bull run. You can see the 2017 bull run, we went to a market cap of $490 billion. Yeah. Then in 2021, we went to 2.7 trillion. Now, just imagine between the previous bull run and the other previous one, bull run, you can see how much the market appreciated. If we do the math, now this is actually a very good metric, because it's going to give you an analogy of how or what happens in this bull runs. Now, in the 2017 bull run, you can see for the first time when Bitcoin went to $20,000, you can see the market cap was at its peak on January of 2018. Yeah, January 15 of 2018. That is when the market cap was high at $705 billion. Yeah. Then in the 2021 bull run, you can see here, we went to as high as, this was around November. Yeah, you can see around November that the market cap went to a market cap of $2.7 trillion. Now, if you divide 2.7 trillion, 2.7 trillion, let's do some quick mathematics here. 2.7, this is million, billion, then we have trillion, yeah? 2.7 trillion, and remember this is dollars. Then you divide by 750 billion, the peak for the previous bull run, now before the 2021 bull run. This is million, billion, yes. If you divide these, you can see the market cap went up by 3.6 times, yeah? By 3.6 times from the previous bull run. Now, if we just assume that we just forget about the Bitcoin ETF catalyst and just consider the halving, and now assume that this is just going to happen like the previous bull run, and we expect that the market is going to do 3.6 times from the previous market cap of 2.7 trillion. So you multiply this by 2.7 trillion, and you're going to see where we are looking at. So this is million, billion, trillion. So we are looking at $9.7 trillion, which is close to 10 trillion. And now remember, I was actually reading a certain article, and this article was saying that currently there is a demand for 9,000 Bitcoins every day. Yeah? No, not 9,000, but rather 6,000. Let me just confirm how many. Don't want to give you some bogus figures. Let me confirm from the article. So this article was saying that, just give me a second, where is that? I had that article open. Okay, so good. So the article says that currently, just from the Bitcoin ETFs operators, yeah, those guys, the likes of the BlackRock and Vanguard and those other Bitcoin ETFs operator, they are currently looking for 6,000 Bitcoins every day. That is the demand. The current demand for Bitcoins is 6,000 Bitcoins every day. But considering that currently only 6.25 Bitcoins are released every 10 minutes, if you do the math on a daily basis, roughly 900 Bitcoins are released on a daily basis. So there's a deficit of around 5,100 Bitcoins in demand. Yeah, there's a deficit in supply, sorry. There's a deficit in supply of 5,100 Bitcoins on a daily basis, because the Bitcoin ETFs are trying to accumulate as much Bitcoins as possible. And this tells you, once the halving happens, and these 900 Bitcoins that are normally released on a daily basis, this figure will be cut by half. And now instead of releasing 450 Bitcoins will be released on a daily basis. And if we assume that the current demand, let's even assume that the demand is not going to go up, but remain the same. But higher chances are the demand is definitely going to go up. Because when every social media platform and those TV stations start talking about Bitcoin has broken its all-time high, everyone will start running into investing into crypto. And those who are very skeptical, what they will do, they will run into those exchange traded funds companies like the likes of BlackRock, yeah, to invest their money there because they trust the companies more than they trust the projects. Now, this means after the halving happens in April, it means there will only be 450 bitcoins released on a daily basis against a demand of 6,000 bitcoins on a daily basis. So it means we have a deficit in supply of around 5,550 bitcoins on a daily basis. Now, that tells you that the demand will be so high, and because of this, the price of Bitcoin will continue to skyrocket. And there has been rumors which they can actually come to see the light that by 2030, which is only 6 years from now, higher chances are one Bitcoin might be selling for $1 million. It might look ambiguous, but trust you me, it can happen. It can easily happen. Who could think that a Bitcoin that was selling for $67 back in 2016, 2015 could trade at $50,000 today? Who could think that one Bitcoin that was selling for $3,000 in 2020 during the COVID period could within less than 2 years go to $69,000 and do 13 times? Yeah. Now just imagine if BTC does like, I don't even want to imagine that if BTC does just 5x from where it is in the next bull run, we are talking about $200,000 for every Bitcoin. And then that means we are talking about 5 times the market cap, the current market cap of BTC, which is at $1 trillion. We are talking about $5 trillion. That is just Bitcoin alone. Now imagine what other projects will have done and what the market cap will do. So getting to 10 trillion market cap in the next bull run is actually like a flip of a snap of fingers. Yeah, it's something that is very, very likely to happen. So it's important that you note that. Now, I don't know how we drifted away from the topic, but I hope that was important. Now, let's talk about the token economics or the tokenomics. Other people call them tokenomics, others call it token economics and initial distribution. This is also a very key factor. And I gave a very good example with this project called the WorldCoin, yeah, WD, WorldCoin, which has been the talk of the town for some time now, and a lot of companies and countries are actually fighting this project. And I told you the effect of having a low supply against the effect of having a low circulating supply against a higher maximum supply, because people might be tempted to think that this project is really doing so well, which it is. But if you look at in the long run, this is a project that is likely to flop. Reason being, whatever the circulating supply is against the maximum supply, we are talking about 1.3%. That is what is enticing people. If the project was to release the other 98% of the project into the economy, this project will be trading for 0.00 something dollars. Yeah, that is what we are talking about, the token economics or the tokenomics. So some projects create token as a solution looking for a problem, not to say that the project itself isn't viable, but its associated token may not be particularly useful in this context. As such, it's important to determine whether the token has the real utility or not. Now, and by extension, whether that utility is something that the wider market will recognize or need, because, well, you might create any cryptocurrency project and give it a utility, but is this utility that you've given to your project needed by the public? Does the economy, does the people need this utility? What problem are you trying to solve? You know, what problem are you trying to solve by giving your token this utility? Because, for example, let me say you come up with your own token and you want people to start paying to businesses and supermarkets using that cryptocurrency token, and you want people to ditch M-Pesa here in Kenya. Most likely that utility for your project is not going to work, because M-Pesa has proven, in as much as it's a traditional way of receiving payments, and it's centralized. A lot of people are familiar with, and this is something that people needed. But trying to introduce a cryptocurrency project to come and replace till numbers, it might be quite a hassle. Just an example. Not to mean that it can't happen. Probably it might happen in the future, especially now when the government starts scrutinizing businesses and they want every share for every sale that you make. So probably people might end up moving into crypto. Although I saw in another newspaper, was it today or yesterday? Let me see if I have that article. Yeah, it was on Business Daily, and this was on 19th, which was yesterday. And the article read, Kenya moves to regulate Bitcoin trade on grey listing risk. Yeah, because what they are claiming is that Kenya is working on a new regulation to police trading in cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin on growing fears that the increased transaction in virtual assets in the country could increase risk of money laundering and terrorism financing. Yeah, so this is something they've been working. Even the previous regime, they had even formed a blockchain task force that was led by the likes of Joe Musheru and Bitang Ndemo. But that task force did nothing. And I still believe by the time Kenya is coming to implement this and this project to see the light, it might take time. By then, you guys should be multimillionaires in dollars, yeah, and you will not care less on whatever measures they are going to bring in, because you would probably be living in Cyprus or Panama. Now, as such, it is important to determine whether the token has real utility, and by extension, whether that utility is something that the wider market will recognize and how much it would likely value the utility at. Now, another important factor to consider on this front is how the funds were initially distributed. And this is very, very important, because you don't want to invest into a project that 90 or 70 or 50 or even 60% of the token distributions belongs to only a small team of the guys who are behind the project and not the community. The larger percentage of the tokens distribution should go to the community and not to the founders of the project. Because it means if at any time those founders feel like they are done with the project and the project has done so well and they want to exit the project and go live their life to the fullest, they can just basically dump the project and go and forget about you guys. And what happens? You end up losing your money. So you want a project whose most of the holdings are held by the community and not the team. And I was talking about another project yesterday called the ACN coin. I hope this guy is not my student, because he'll think that I'm bashing his project. But I'm not bashing it, I'm just telling you guys the truth, because I wouldn't want to see anyone lose money through a bogus project like this, yeah? Now you can see, let's do some quick calculations. And I want you to see why research is important and why this is not making sense. We aim to make cryptocurrency space a safe and engaging space. It's already happening currently. Now, so they are saying that stage one, this is now called a private sale or a pre-sale, yeah, and their target is to raise 120,000 BNBs. Let's do some quick maths here. So, one BNB is currently trading at $350, okay? And they want to raise 120 of them, okay? So, in essence, they want to raise $42 million, which is essentially around 6.3 billion in Kenya shillings. Now, that is stage one, okay? And you can see they are saying that one ACN coin is trading for 0.024 BNB. Now, I want to see if I can get a white paper. Here we have it. And I want to show you what a bogus project looks like. So let's open this. And here we are. Now, ACN white paper, ACN coin white paper. Now, we have planned an ecosystem of new solutions which will help users to save their assets as well as trade and use them for different services in the coming years. Also, we will keep on researching on how we can reinvent the wheel in a way that blockchain can be used in most of the areas of day-to-day life and how it can be used for betterment of humankind and users of the technology. Okay, that's the solution. So what's the problem? There's no problem. Okay, so now the vision to be the forefront of a new era of technology and innovations which serves next generation of human life so they can live with more freedom and less fear. Mission and solution. Now, how to buy ACN coin, okay? So they come here and they tell you how you're supposed to do. So you download MetaMask and you can download MetaMask wallet from metamask.io or you download Trust Wallet from trustwallet.com. Then add BNB chain to MetaMask Trust Wallet and deposit BNB to your wallet. Blah, blah, blah. By now, everyone knows how to do this, okay? Now, the token sale, okay? Now, the token name is ACN coin. The ticker is ACN. By now, you know what a ticker is. Starting price of ICO is 0.05 USD, okay? The starting price is 0.05 USD, which is, I'm assuming it's equivalent to 0.0024 BNB, okay? Apart from that, we have total supply is 200 million ACN coins and fundraising is 50 million US dollars. Now, here is the contract address and here is the pre-sale contract address, which I want us to copy. I wish I can copy this. This looks like a photo. I wish I could copy this. And I wanted to show you something. Now, let's forget about that and come here under the token distribution. This is what we call the token economics. Now, allocation of funds. The total token supply is 200 million ACN coins. So they've given 15% to the founders and the team. Okay? Are you guys following?
Yes, we are.
Okay, good. So they've given 15% to the founders and the team, okay? They've given 20% to the reserved funding. So who is the custodian of the reserved funding, if I may ask? Who do you think is the custodian of the reserved funding?
The team.
Of course, the team, right? So that's another 20% additional to the team, right? Now, 5% to the advisors. So who is the advisors? The advisors is part of the team, right?
Yes.
Then 40% goes to the community. Then there is 15% goes to the marketing campaign. Who is the custodian of marketing campaign?
The team.
The team. So we have 20 plus 20, that is 40%, plus 15, that is 55%. Then they've said about 5% airdrop, which I don't know how they are going to do that. Now, so we have 55%. Let's assume that these guys are able to raise the amount that they are looking for, which is $50 million. And after they have launched, and they have, let's say, for example, miraculously they have been able to raise this amount, which I don't think they are going to. Okay, they've raised this amount, $50 million, which is 6 billion. Now, if these guys decides, okay, well, we've raised this amount, let's try and blindfold people and give back the 40% to the community like we promised, and okay, 45%, and keep the 55%. So if they were to keep 55%, or $50 million, they have $27 million to take home. And let me tell you something. So this is like 4.1 billion. This is like 4.1 billion Kenya shillings. Now, this is a project, if I told you this project will never launch, and if it ever launches, it will never last. Yeah? And you can keep an eye on this project. This project is not going to launch, and if it launches, it's not going to last. Yeah? And whereby ACN, high speed and low cost, already we have projects that are high in speed and they are low cost. And again, remember, if this is a good project and if these guys are trying to solve a certain problem, one thing that I would expect is they would have launched their own blockchain network, right? If they are trying to solve a problem that they've seen in a previous blockchain network. Is it so? Am I making sense? So you cannot tell me
Yes.
that you built your own project that is running on a certain network, but you're promising high speeds and low costs. You know? Because what actually not even assuming, it's logical that your tokens are going to, the speed at which your tokens are going to be sent and received and executed is through the blockchain network that your tokens are relying on. This project is built on the blockchain, on the Binance Smart Chain blockchain network. So telling us that high speeds and low cost, that does not make sense because that is another network's work. That is what Binance has already provided us with. Show us a blockchain network that you have come up that is trying to beat whatever Binance Smart Chain is providing, you know. Real-time transaction. This is already happening with Duren. Are you in class? Is Duren in class?
Yes, I'm in class.
Yeah, you remember when I sent you some funds via Binance through your email or phone number?
Yes.
Was the transaction real time? How long did it take for you to receive the funds?
Less than a minute.
Less than a minute. Yeah, a few seconds. So by this guys telling us that real time, every transaction and updates are real time and directly pulled from smart contract on the blockchain. Whose blockchain? It's not your blockchain. Protection from hacking. By implementing robust protection measures, individuals and businesses can have peace of mind while leveraging on the potential of ACN coin in a secure and reliable manner. On whose network? Cost effective. What's the difference? The scale economy through decentralization leading to significant decrease in transaction fees. Now, what is the difference with cost effective and high speed and low cost? They're basically repeating the same thing. Yeah? So they have a roadmap here. So what they've tried to do is they've tried to make these look as genuine as possible. Let me see if I can. I want to copy this contract address. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, looks like I can copy it finally. Good. So this is the smart contract. I want to show you guys something. So let me go back to my. So let's go to Binance Smart Chain Explorer, BSC scan. And I want us to scan this project. And let's see what is going on here. So we've taken the contract address for this project and we are going to paste it here. And when we do so, we have this one here. Let me see. Let me just confirm it's the correct project. Just a second. Just give me a minute. Okay. This is 0xAB87 and ending with 83E9. Okay. 83E9. Correct. So this is this is what we have here. Okay. Now I want to show you something and you will understand why I'm saying this thing is a scam. So what we've taken is the smart contract for this project, okay? This is the contract address for the project, right? Now, we also have the BSC scan. We also have the pre-sale contract. Let's see the pre-sale contract also. So we have the smart contract and the pre-sale contract, okay? And let's see what we have here. So already this project is on pre-sale. And according to the website, you can see here it says ICO sale. Can you see here, ICO sale, okay? And the last money that this token received was 3 days ago, okay? And it received 0.03, okay? And they are running these through the Pinky Finance, okay? Now, Pinky Finance is a platform that facilitates pre-sale of projects, yeah? Now, if you look here, how many BNBs have they raised? Can you see how many BNBs they've raised during the pre-sale? Hello?
Yes.
How many?
35.17.
Good. 35.17 for BNBs, right? Now, if these BNBs have been raised through the pre-sale contract, we expect when we search the pre-sale contract, we need to see those BNBs here. How much BNBs do we have here?
0.
Zero. So where is the money? It means the money have already been removed. Yeah, they've already removed the money from the contract, meaning this is a project that has a backdoor. And that is why I'm saying that this project is a project that is never going to launch. Let me see if I can track where this money goes, okay? Let me see if I can track where this money goes. Just give me a second. So this is in. So this is the money coming into the contract address. So I want to filter these. And okay, let me go back. I would have just used the other filter. Okay, here. So let's close it here. Sorry. Let's go back here. Okay, so let me filter here and view outgoing transactions. Okay. There are no outgoing transactions. Okay, let me see if I can see whether I can put the period, view pending, view completed. Okay, from to, okay, create ACN coin. So you can see this project was created 177 days ago. So let me use the pre-sale contract, because I believe this is the contract that received the money. We should be able to see where this money has been drawn to, because the contract is not having any money. Yeah, the contract is not having any money. And that is to mean this money has been removed. And if it's been removed, we want to see where this money has gone to. I had seen that sometimes back. And this money was actually going to a Binance account. And the moment that money gets into a Binance account, remember Binance is a cryptocurrency exchange. The money goes into the master wallet for Binance. But basically, what I'm trying to show you is this project does not have money currently, but they are claiming that 35.17 BNBs have been raised, but those contracts don't have that money. So where has that money been taken to? Because we expect, if, again, how a contract or how a pre-sale lands, if you go to, there's a platform called PinkSale. And at PinkSale, here you will find, and we are actually going to do this much later. Here you will find projects that are on pre-sale. Yeah. Now, for example, if you look at a project like, let's take the ones that are trending, like Honor here, you can see this project, Honor Vault, enabling high performance layer 2 secure staking and asset management solutions, ensuring fast transactions and sustainable growth in decentralized finance landscape. Now, make sure the website is pinksale.finance. Now, you can see this pre-sale is actually ending in around 1 hour, and they are trying to raise 20 BNBs. Okay, and the BNBs they have raised 269.3. This should be an error, because max contribution 3.3 BNBs, total contribution. Okay, let's see how much they are trying to raise. Okay, from this here, we can see they are trying to raise 20. That is the maximum BNB they are trying to raise. And this looks like they have raised 269. This should be an error, because there is no way they can raise more than what they are trying, the hard cap. You remember the hard cap and the soft cap? There's no way they can raise more than they want to raise, because if they were looking to raise 20 BNBs and they've raised 269, then this bar would already have been filled. Let me pick a different project. You can see the number 2 trending project here is Fire. What I think the maximum amount that someone can raise is 5 ETH. Okay, and so far they've raised 136, or probably maybe the team itself have put in some BNBs, and this is actually something that is currently happening, and people are actually being fooled. So what the team would do, okay, this is the soft cap. Okay, this is the soft cap. So they want to raise a minimum of 5 Ethereum, but it's showing us that they've raised a total of 136 Ethereums. Now, what happens is the team could blindfold people, and you should be very, very keen with this project, because the team could put some money in the contract, okay, which they can remove because they have the access to the backdoor of the contract. And so when you come here and you see, wow, 136 Ethereums have been invested into this pre-sale, and you end up thinking it's a good project, because if you do the math, how much 136 Ethereum is, you multiply by $3,000, which is what Ethereum is currently almost trading at. That is over $400,000, and you might get tempted to think that this is a lot of money. But remember, if I can actually create a project like this and deploy it and give it to people and put my own money. I can even put some, even 100 BNBs if I have them. I can even put them here, but it's because I have the backdoor access to the contract. And I know once this project has collected enough money, it's not going to launch. I can go ahead and never launch the project and remove the money that has been contributed. That is why we said, when you're participating in these pre-sales, you should be very, very keen. And that is why it's actually very, very important. If you're participating into these, I would recommend you'd rather participate in what we call an IDO or an IEO, because I expect before Binance launches a certain project, they will have done due diligence before they list that project in their launchpad. Yeah, we are going to look at Binance launchpad and how you can actually be able to see good projects. Anyway, so what I wanted to show you is about the token economics, and we've seen a very perfect example of how a bogus token economics would look like. Yeah, a very bogus token economics would look like. And we've seen most of this money is actually going to the team. You need to at least have 20% at most. Even 20% is so much, but 20% is okay for the team to hold. And then the rest 80%, let that go to the community, because you're giving the community the power to run this project. In as much as you are the guys behind and pioneering and steering the project, remember this project cannot move without the community. But if you're taking the bigger share out of the project, then definitely it means you're likely going to manipulate the masses or the people who are investing in your project. And you can easily do that and run away with their money. So you need to be very keen on that, okay? Now, so we've talked about another important factor to consider on this front is how funds were initially distributed. Was it via an ICO or an IEO? Or could users earn it by mining? In this case, or in the case of the former, the white paper should outline how much is kept for the founders and the team, and how much will be available to investors. In the case of the latter, we could look at the evidence of the assets creator pre-mining or mining on the network before it's announced. Focusing on the distribution might give us an idea of any risk that exists, for example, with this project that we just looked at. For instance, if the vast majority of supply was owned by the few parties, we might reach the conclusion that this is a risky investment, as those parties could eventually manipulate the market. And that is basically what we have explained. That is basically what we have explained. And that is what the project metrics are about, okay? That is what the project metrics are about. Now, the other thing is about the financial metrics. And again, I don't want to go deeper into this. I want us to continue tomorrow with the financial metrics and wind up on financial metrics tomorrow. Then we do dissecting a cryptocurrency white paper in more detail. So we are going to now dissect a cryptocurrency white paper in a more detailed manner, and we should be done by fundamental analysis tomorrow. This is one topic that I never want to rush students, because I want people to understand it in depth, because this is one of the things that you'll be doing in the industry, and this is how money is made in cryptocurrency. You have to sit, do research, know whether this project is undervalued or overvalued, and once you've seen that this project is undervalued, then you're looking to invest in this project as early as you can, because it's likely to give you some good proceeds in future. So, with that said, do we have a question?